we're going to begin to see the deconstruction of our financial systems and structures. I believe we will see some of it. I'm seeing stuff around November, December. So that's something to be prepared for. Like there's going to be some constriction around November, December, and then first quarter. And I think it feels more like mid first quarter of 2023, we're going to see some more stuff. So whether this looks like major financial institutions collapsing, whether this looks like a change in the way that we're able to handle currency, I feel like there may be something coming where we're actually like paper currency is going to shift. Something's coming. And this is not intended to be doom and gloom. Like that's not the point of this. The point is to be prepared.
This is Leah Steele, aka The Wealth Witch, and this is my podcast. I'm here to activate you to remembrance of your divine birthright to be wealthy in all areas of your life. This podcast is for people ready to have controversial conversations about the financial control, manipulation, and tyranny that faces humanity today. I'm gonna live in freedom. I'm gonna live my destiny. I'm gonna live my freedom. I'm gonna live, the time is right now. The Wealth Witch. It's for the people who are ready to wake up, deconstruct their wealth programming, and free themselves from the financial slavery consciousness that serves the global financial agenda. I'm committed to realizing a new global wealth paradigm where economic freedom is the reality and where you get to design and live the life of your dreams. Now let's do the damn thing.
Decided that I wanted to talk about some of the things that I have been seeing that are coming for us last quarter of this year and into first quarter of next year. And certainly like not intended to be doom and gloom, but just really intended to be talking about what we need to do to be prepared, like how to prepare ourselves for what's coming. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about that today. I was doing a call in my Wealth Warrior Mastermind today. We were talking a little bit about this and just, chatting about, some of the shifts that are happening in the collective and some of the shifts that are happening in business for entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs in the online space. So I wanted to just kind of hop on and share some of that, some of what I'm seeing. Yeah. So, say hi if you're watching and, let me know where you're watching from, especially if you are just joining on the Facebooks. I know it is Easter weekend, so I think many people are busy doing family things. But if you watched my live stream from yesterday, you know that I have made a commitment to being back and actively engaged with my online space and community. So here I am. So I'm here and lots of Aussies watching right now. It looks like lots of people watching from Australia on both the platforms. I'm live on Instagram and Facebook right now, just FYI. So if you prefer one platform over the other, you can come catch me on whichever one floats your boat. So one of the things that we were talking about today in my Wealth Warrior Mastermind was this little bit of shift that we're experiencing in the collective when it comes to spending and disposable income and like how people are choosing to invest that disposable income. So I recently just returned back to Bali from the United States. So some of you may know that. And so one of the things that was really good for me to go and experience, because obviously I've been reading about it, but I hadn't really been experiencing it, was to go experience the inflation that's happening in the United States. And I think that there are many Americans and across the world, right? Like this is impacting the world. It's not just impacting the United States, but there's lots of people that are really being negatively impacted and affected by this. I think that they're saying right now it is costing the average American right now, I think it's $5,000 more a year to live, which, you know, for some people in some income brackets doesn't seem like a lot. But when you're only making, you know, $28,000 a year, an extra almost $6,000 a year it can seem and feel insurmountable. And so first and foremost, I want to just, you know, extend a lot of compassion for people that are actually going through that right now and are experiencing that. So, you know, living in Bali, like, and even, you know, being in Europe, prices were higher. But when I got to the United States, I was just flipping blown away by the cost of things. The actual, what it costs to live right now. And I'm not sure how people are doing it. So, you know, again, extending a lot of love and compassion to the people that are out there and that are struggling with that. But the purpose of this live stream is to talk more about what's happening with the collective and what I see coming. And so the first thing I want to say is that within the collective consciousness, there is a constriction happening. So if you're an online content creator or you're somebody who's out there, you know, putting offers out into the world and selling offers, and you're struggling to fill your programs, or if you have a brick and mortar business and you just don't have the clientele that you used to have, or people aren't spending the same amount of money, I think it's important to recognize and realize that first and foremost, there is a complete collapse of our financial systems and structures coming. Like, there is no doubt about that. And, you know, within the next, you know, by 2027, our financial systems and structures are going to look entirely different than they do today. They will not be recognizable. We will not be doing finances and money and currency the way we do it today. That's coming. There's no question about that. Okay. I had originally thought that we weren't going to start to see this collapse for about the next 2 years, but what I'm being shown now and what I'm seeing as I'm, you know, doing my kind of energy scans that I do of the planet and of the collective. And that's more information for a different live stream that I'm not going to go over here. But one of the things that I see, I mean, maybe I will just talk a little bit about it. Like, when I look at timelines, and I look at energy ley lines and timelines, and energetically, when I look at timelines, I see dense areas. It's the same thing when I scan energy fields in a client's body or in my body. I see a dense or opaque area where something needs to be addressed or where there's a problem. So when I look at energy timelines, I see those same like dense or dark or opaque areas. And so for those of you that have been following me for a long time or have been around for a long time, you know that in the fall of, well, probably starting about August or September of 2019, I started seeing this really dark, dense area in the timeline in first quarter of 2020, like end of first quarter of 2020. And I just was feeling this like tremendous sense of urgency where I was like, I couldn't stop talking. I was live streaming like every single day, like imploring people, begging people to step into their purpose work, begging people to create safety, stability, and security for themselves. Like literally, like just the sense of urgency that I felt and that I was trying to portray to people. It was so intense. And I didn't know what was coming, but I knew something was coming, and I knew it was going to shake the foundation of humanity. And I just saw this dark, dense energy, like end of first quarter of 2020. Now, obviously, we all know what happened. You know, I had no clue it was going to be, you know, this pandemic and this virus and all this stuff, but I saw it. And the people that heeded that sense of urgency that I had, that trusted me and that went out and started like, you know, really diving deeply and doubling down on their purpose work and creating additional streams of revenue for themselves. Like they ended up having an entirely different experience of 2020 and 2021 than the rest of the world did. And many of those people had the best financial years of their lives because they actually did begin to take their power back. They did step into their sovereignty. They did realize that they were their only guarantee. And so when the world fell apart and all of our safety, stability, and security, the things that we believed were safe, stable, and secure, those things got stripped away from us, then they weren't, you know, they weren't in the state that a lot of the rest of the world was in, where they were gripped in fear and they were worried about how they were going to survive and all of that. So this is happening again is essentially what I'm saying. And now, though, I am very clear that this is financial in nature. So these dense areas that I'm seeing, they're financial in nature. We're going to begin to see the deconstruction of our financial systems and structures. I believe we will see some of it. I'm seeing stuff around November, December. So that's something to be prepared for. Like, there's going to be some constriction around November, December, and then first quarter. And I think it feels more like mid first quarter of 2023, we're going to see some more stuff. So whether this looks like major financial institutions collapsing, whether this looks like a change in the way that we're able to handle currency, I feel like there may be something coming where we're actually like paper currency is going to shift. Something's coming. And this is not intended to be doom and gloom. Like, that's not the point of this. The point is to be prepared. The point is to hopefully ignite and light a fire under your ass to get you to start to look at the potential of a collapse and the possibility of a collapse and what you would do in the case that happened. And so for me right now, like, the thing that I can tell you that I think is the most important is don't keep all your money in the bank. Like, don't have all of your money that you have in a financial institution and organization. Like, I feel like that is just the most silly, most stupid thing that you can do right now. Start looking at how you can hold money in different ways. Whether that is, to begin to start investing, even if it's in small amounts, even if you can only afford small amounts in precious metals. So having silver, having gold, and, having potentially some junk silver on hand in case things go really south and we need to trade. You need to trade for stuff. You need to go buy, milk or eggs or bread. You can't take a big hunk of silver into a supermarket or to a farm and trade. They're not going to have anything to give back to you. So make sure that you have an ability to be resourced. If all these imaginary numbers in your bank accounts simply were wiped out and went away, what would you do? Do you have the ability to still live and thrive and survive in a case that all of a sudden all your digital money was wiped out? And again, this is not meant to be alarmist, but it is meant to say, what can you do right now to prepare for what's coming? So, maybe it's investing in precious gemstones. Maybe it's, I think it's a very, very good idea to have different types of currency on hand. So to have a safe in your home where you have currency, and it's not just the currency of the country that you live in, that you have multiple currency on hand. I would have multiple bank accounts. Don't just have one. Don't put all your eggs in one financial basket. If you heed anything I say, it should be that. So have multiple bank accounts. Make sure that you have ability to send and receive money through places other than your bank. So whether that's you have a TransferWise account, a PayPal account, I don't know what all the other ones are. There's a bunch in the United States right now, Venmo, Zelle, there's lots of different ways to be able to do this, but make sure that you're not caught in a situation where you've just been operating with one financial institution and organization, and then all of a sudden that's gone. And you're like, okay, well, what the hell do I do now? So I believe it's important to have cash on hand. I believe it's important to, and have different types of currency. So that's something that I absolutely believe that we need to do. The other thing is that there has never been a more important time in the world to look at the programming and conditioning that you have around money, wealth, and currency. Because when these systems and structures fall apart, and when we begin, when everything we've known about money and currency and how we operate in the world with money and currency and wealth and assets, when all of that goes away, who are you? To me, it is so vitally important right now that we really look at what are the ancestral patterns that we're carrying. What is the genetic memory? What are what is the programming, conditioning, and patterns that we have imprinted around money, wealth, and currency that hold us back? that hold us back from, believing that we're the most powerful creator in our reality. They hold us back from, tapping into our potential. Because I really truly believe that when we shed all of that, when we get rid of all that programming and conditioning, or a majority of it, that's actually when we're able to step into our sovereignty, when we're actually able to be free. And when we're able to approach these upcoming times from a place of neutrality, without energetic charge, without fear, without desperation, when we're actually able to just see it for what it is. And this is going to be the difference between people who thrive as this collapse happens and those that are caught up in the complete destruction and chaos. It's going to be those who have looked at their own psychology, their own emotional pathology, their own patterns around money, wealth, and currency, and are able to be in states of neutrality, which then allow them to be in states of fluidity, which allows them to change and grow and evolve as the landscape is changing and growing and evolving. When you haven't done that work and you haven't looked at those things and you haven't cleared that stuff, what ends up happening is you move into fear and chaos and panic, which is exactly what this is going to be designed to do. And then because you are so emotionally charged, you are easier to control and manipulate. So this, I believe, is the next power play. Because the financial systems and structures cannot continue to exist the way that they are. We all know that, like, we're printing money like I don't even know. It's just all craziness, right? But they know it's coming. Like, this isn't going to be a surprise. Like, the people in power and the people that are running the financial institutions and organizations, they know they're going down. They have a backup plan. And that backup plan is to control and manipulate you through fear and chaos. And they will have a solution. They will have a solution. And if you have not stepped into sovereignty and you have not stepped into neutrality and you haven't figured out alternative ways to live and thrive and survive, you will have no choice but to operate inside the new system that they create. Now, those of us that have cleared up all of our baggage, we may choose to operate inside the system that they create, but we will be doing it on our terms and our rules, not from a place of fear and scarcity and lack and desperation. So it's important, and I had no idea that I was going to be putting out another wealth repatterning program. I really didn't. I had no clue. But as this has started coming to light and as I've started to be shown this, I was asked to recreate my program, Alchemical Wealth, which used to be a journey through the spiral focused on money, wealth, and abundance. And it now is a journey through the elements. So it is the Philosopher Stone, my process from my modality, the Philosopher Stone, with a focus on money, wealth, and abundance. And so we're looking at ourselves as holistic beings, and what it looks like to really tap into and experience holistic wealth, and deconstructing and removing any of those limiting beliefs, patterns, emotional pathology that are holding us back from being in those states of neutrality. Every single one of us has programming around money, wealth, and currency. I don't care if you were born into the deepest levels of poverty or with a silver spoon in your mouth and belong to a family of billionaires. It doesn't matter. We all have programming and conditioning. We all have positive and negative associations with money, wealth, and currency. Those negative and positive associations, they hold us back. They keep us stuck. They keep us stagnant in whatever our experiences that we're having in the world. The biggest detrimental thing that they do is they keep us they keep this lens on us. We're only able to see through one lens. And that can be really debilitating when things like this happen, like this collapse that's coming when it happens, because we're only able to see things one way. Versus when we release this programming and conditioning and we free ourselves of the patterns that are holding us in that place, then we actually have the ability to see things from different perspectives. We have the ability to change our lens. We have our ability to interchange lenses. And so in that state, we have the ability to have choice. We have choices instead of just being dictated where we're going. So I'm super excited about this because this journey, the Philosopher's Stone, and I talked about this on my live stream a little bit yesterday, but this journey, the Philosopher's Stone for me has really been, it's brought me into holistic balance in all areas of my life. But as I've been going through this process and creating this process and program of Alchemical Wealth, the crazy thing that's been happening is I have begun to change my whole entire belief system around what wealth is and what wealth looks like. And that to me has been hugely powerful. And it is those shifts that are happening. It's allowing me to step into a place where holistic wealth is more the priority, but it's also exponentially expanding my bank account because I'm no longer putting the focus just on financial wealth. And that's what this program does. When we come into states of holistic wealth and we look at wealth in all areas of our lives and we stop making those associations, whether negative or positive, with what wealth is, and we allow wealth to just be, then we open ourselves up to receive a lot more financial abundance, but abundance in all areas of our lives. So this is a 14-week journey with me, and it will be co-facilitated by two of my wealth alchemy practitioners, Claire McCullough and Laura Johnson, who are incredible, amazing women and practitioners. And they have gone through this process themselves recently and are both experiencing crazy expansion on the other side of it as well. It's a case study type of program and opportunity to come work with me to do this, because this process, actually, I will be offering one-on-one. Once we move through this case study process, this will be a one-on-one offering that will be $11,000 to $22,000, depending upon how you want to work with me in this part of my business, which is holistic wealth strategy. But we're doing this case study program. We're taking a limited number of people through. It's $2,222. So it's a really incredible opportunity to come take this journey with me and be supported by two other incredible facilitators, be in a group container where everyone's kind of working together towards a common goal, but to have a lot of individualized attention as you move through this process. So there will be an information call every other week. There'll be an information call, a clearing call, a group call, and then as a case study participant, in order to receive this low investment into this program, we just ask that you fill out a survey after every elemental clear and then a testimonial at the end. So definitely calling you to join me. Did the live stream yesterday, 5 spots got taken like that. So if this is something that's calling to you, if you're ready to, if you want to be prepared for what's coming, if you are desiring to step into states of neutrality, if you want to like exponentially expand your pocketbook, we will be creating some, I think what's going to be quite intimidating to some people, some very large stretch financial goals in this container, which you will accomplish, but we're going to be looking at wealth holistically. So it's not going to just be financial. So if you know you want in, you can click the link in my bio if you're on Instagram, or send me a DM. I'm not sure if they've put the link in yet. I need to actually message my team and ask her to do that. But there is a link in my story, or you can send me a DM and I can send you the link. Yeah. So it's a bit of a kind of a once in a lifetime opportunity. I won't be offering this again like this. Not for this price and not in this type of container. So if you know you want in, then definitely click the link, learn more. If you have any questions about any of it, like feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions. Yeah, absolutely correct with everything you've said. I invest not only in different money managed stocks, but multiple tangible items such as boats, vehicles, perishable food, propane, property, and live on a lake. Yeah, like amazing and incredible. And I really, truly believe that the people that step into these states of preparedness, like you're going to be able to not only survive, but thrive when this happens. It just takes a little bit of preparedness. Part of why I'm doing this program is to help people open their eyes to different ways of doing things. Because when we're just wearing our one lens, it's like we don't even have the ability to see what could be considered alternative types of currency, right? How about investment stocks, Bitcoin, not cash in the bank? Yeah. I mean, I think, cryptocurrency, really great thing. Yeah, Megan, I saw you secured your spot last night. I saw that. Congratulations. I'm super excited to work with you. Yeah, so different types of investments are great. But again, remember that when a financial collapse happens, it's going to affect the stock market. And it will affect the crypto market either negatively or positively, right? So, yeah, just remember cryptocurrency is highly emotional. And volatile in nature. And so if you are investing in crypto, amazing, but also make sure that you, again, don't have all your eggs in the crypto basket either. Like, don't have all your financial eggs in one basket. Okay. Well, that's all I have to say today. So if you are feeling called to Alchemical Wealth, do the thing, click the link, and I'll see you inside.
That's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to connect with me on social media and reach out. I love hearing from you. And if you want more of me, real, raw, and uncensored, make sure to join the Wealth Witch Telegram channel. It's my free channel where I share all of my random daily musings, as well as the information that I feel like is important and pertinent to my community. We've put a link to the Telegram channel in the show notes, so make sure to come join us over there if that intrigues you. Remember, wealth is a mindset, and you are the most powerful creator in your reality. Until next time, this is the Wealth Witch signing off.